efficient business, a modern piece of glasswork. Down on the corner that you walk each day in passing, the elderly sales clerk won't ask with suspicion. The whole of motor corporation's giving its permission.
Good morning, kids. Today for Show and Tell, our classmate Andrea will tell us about her home country, Honduras. As you all know, she's been living here for 5 years, so let's all give her our undivided attention.
Hi classmates, today for Show and Tell I'm going to tell you something about Honduras, the country where I'm from. First of all, its location. It's in the center of Central America. First goes Mexico, underneath that goes Guatemala and Belize, then comes Honduras, next to El Salvador, then Nicaragua, and then Costa Rica. For our history, I wanted to tell you about our independence. We were independent from Spain on September 15th, 1821. Then we annexed Mexico. We separated from Mexico in 1823 and joined the United Provinces of Central America until 1838 when it dissolved. Something about our flag which is interesting is that we were the country who fought for America. That's why we have 5 stars in the middle, standing for each country of Central America. Honduras, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Our government is democratic, and we mostly speak language in Honduras. It's the official language, but in some regions there are indigenous people who still speak their dialects. We have a population of about 8 million people, and Honduras is one small country with 3 big worlds in it. First of all, in the Caribbean, we have the Bay Islands with the 2nd largest coral reef in the world. After that, in the mainland, we have to the west the Mayan ruins in Copan. To the east, we have extensive rainforests. The most known one is La Mosquitia. It's very extensive and one of the best preserved ones in Latin America after Brazil's Amazon.
Thank you, Andrea. That was very interesting. Now, I want each of you to tell me something about that you've learned interacting with Andrea with one of the basic dimensions that we've talked about yesterday.
An example of interaction management is when I first got to Mexico, I had to learn that some of the words in my vocabulary weren't the same as they were here in Mexico, and they might be offensive to some people. So I had to learn to moderate what I said and to be comprehensive of what they said to me so I wasn't offended either. An example of orientation to knowledge is before I came to Mexico, we Hondurans have a stereotype of your accent. When I came here, I didn't let that affect my interaction with others, and I learned that in Mexico, they have different accents throughout. An example of tolerance to ambiguity is that I had to learn to be patient and be willing to repeat some of the words I said or even use some of the Mexican words to be understood by other people. I also had to learn to not get annoyed if they asked me to repeat what I was saying, or if I had to ask them to tell me again or explain to me what they were saying to me.
Yes, teacher. I think that when we met Andrea, we all thought that she was Mexican because she looks Latin. So I think we need to learn to work on our orientation to knowledge.
I also think we need to develop our empathy, because when we met Andrea, we realized we need to develop our patience and our openness so she doesn't feel like outside of the society.
Well, we realized Andrea uses different words and meanings as well as gestures. At the beginning, we made fun of her, but then we realized she felt bad and we tried to be more comprehensive. So we need to develop our interaction questions.
I think that what we've learned today from our show and tell is that even though Mexico is a Latin country too, there are a lot of differences within Latin America. So even though Andrea is from Honduras, it is important that we always evaluate our ideas and behaviors to get a better understanding of each other. Yes, Andrea?
I think the biggest challenge for me were the differences in the language.
I also think that what we have to work on the most is the language, and that she might have a hard time with the spicy food.
Who can tell me what they think intercultural communication?
I know. I I think intercultural communication means being tolerant, understanding, and respectful with others' cultures and ways of living, so we can have a real effective communication when we speak to each other.
I think we have an effective intercultural communication because now we're more interested in her culture and the way she thinks, and we accept her opinions even if they're not the same as ours.
Around 2 years ago, we were working in a project named CINT2, Students in Free Enterprise, and we had a lot of fun. Actually, it was amazing to meet Andrea. At the beginning, I thought she was Mexican, but then when she started talking about, in Spanish, you can hear her accent. And I don't know, I would love to go and visit Honduras.
I first met Andrea in the photo activity, and I didn't realize that she wasn't Mexican until everybody started asking her to contribute something about Honduras. And even then I didn't realize that there was, big differences between Mexico and Honduras, because I thought they had the same language and, roughly the same area. So I only realized when we worked together that there is big cultural differences.
I met Andrea on the first day of class when we were doing the ice-breaking activity, and I was looking for someone from another country, and there was nothing left, and I said out loud, like, who hasn't asked for the list? And she said, I'm not from here, in Spanish. And I realized, I thought she was Mexican, she looks Mexican, but now that I know her, I realize that she's really different.
Well, I met Andrea the first day of class, and when she told me she was from Honduras, I remember I thought, oh, I have so many friends there, this is going to be a fun experience. And then we had the opportunity of working together in the formal teams, and while having the opportunity to know her, I think she's a really great person, and I'm happy I'm in both teams with her.